Today marks the beginning of the final year of the 11th Parliament.
On Thursday, 5th June 2025, the House received the State of the Nation address. Prior to the President's address, the Speaker, Anita Among, commended legislators on their outstanding parliamentary performance, noting that the House prioritized being people-centered.
During the previous session, Parliament's performance was generally outstanding and was characterized by greater responsiveness, efficiency, and effectiveness. To this end, Parliament of Uganda held 75 sittings, during which 2 oaths were administered to new members of Parliament. 35 bills were passed, 3 petitions were concluded, 45 resolutions were passed, and 53 reports were adopted. In line with our vision of being a people-centered parliament, during the 4th session, the Parliament of Uganda held its first ever regional sitting at Kaunda Grounds in Gulu City. The legislature will continue to place the common person at the center of all its parliamentary processes and decisions. In a bid to foster Pan-Africanism and international collaboration with other legislatures and interparliamentary bodies, we continued to further interparliamentary diplomacy through active participation and membership in various interparliamentary bodies. Your Excellency, the 11th Parliament draws inspiration of your effective and impactful leadership as a key enabler and a societal transformation. We undertake that the 5th session that you'll open today will remain steadfast in effectively executing its mandate in furtherance to the National Vision 2040 that aims in transforming Uganda in modern and a prosperous nation within the 30 years.
In his address to the nation, President Yoweri Museveni noted that several sectors of the country, including security, health, economic growth, among others, had put Uganda on a high pedestal.
The general security situation in the country is calm. However, the traditional and non-traditional threats to national security continue to manifest in the form of terrorism, negative political activism, general and cross-border crime, as well as health and environmental risks. The government continues to modernize and professionalize Uganda's security forces by improving their welfare and strengthening the cooperation between the civilian population and the security forces. Our economy remains strong and resilient. It was recently ranked 7th by the International Monetary Fund among the fastest growing economies of the whole world. The size of the economy is projected at Uganda shilling is $224.9 trillion, equivalent to $60 billion by the end of June 2025. In 1986, the economy was only Uganda shillings 42 billion, or US dollars 3.9 billion. This means that in dollar terms, the size of the economy has expanded nearly 15 times since the NRM government took power in January 1986. Merchandise goods exports grew by 26% to US dollars 9.3 billion in the year ending March 2025. The prices of consumer goods and services have remained low, averaging 3.4% in the past 12 months to April 2025. This is good for savers and investors to be able to plan their investments and plan with certainty. The low inflation was due to a stable exchange rate, good crop harvests, and the decreasing global prices of liquid fuels. Our economy is now more diversified and more sophisticated. In 1986, the economy depended only on the 3 C's, which are coffee, cotton, and copper, and the 3 T's, which are tobacco, tea, and tourism. According to a study conducted by the Harvard Economic Lab, in the last 10 years, Uganda added 20 new products to its export basket and has an opportunity of harnessing production of 50 new complex products. Manufacturing is the answer to the challenge of unemployment. Uganda has got raw materials and human resource that can support factories specializing in the manufacture of automobiles, electronics, steel, textiles, furniture, food products, pharmaceuticals, aluminum products, etc. Government has put in place a strategy to increase the size of the economy to $500 billion by 2040 or earlier. My people talk of 2040, but me, I want it earlier. This strategy identifies 4 anchor sectors. These are agro-industrialization, tourism development, mineral development, including oil and gas, and science, technology, and innovation. Government has invested in irrigation in order to boost agricultural production. This is because the provision of water for irrigation reduces the likelihood of crop failure on account of water scarcity. With regard to oil and gas production, the government is investing in the requisite infrastructure for commercial production. Kabale International Airport is near completion, and 700 kilometers of tarmac roads have been constructed in the Albertine area. The civil works for EACOP, East African Crude Pipeline, are scheduled for completion next financial year, both in Uganda and Tanzania. The stock of tarmac roads is now 6,199 kilometers, compared to only 1,900 kilometers when the NRM took power in 1986. The government continues to focus on attaining a good standard of health for Ugandans and those living in Uganda. The prevention strategy remains the most powerful tool for fighting diseases. Therefore, I urge all Ugandans to adopt healthy lifestyles. The government has introduced reforms in the education sector which are aimed at reorienting the curriculum towards a competency-based approach. This involves equipping learners with practical skills and competencies that are required in the private sector. This will help to reduce unemployment among the school graduates. As I conclude, I wish to reiterate that the NRM is aiming at making Uganda a $500 billion economy in the near future. I want to reaffirm the commitment of the NRM government to ensuring that Uganda remains stable and transforms into a modern, prosperous country.
During the sitting, the President unveiled the National Development Plan, NDP4.
On 9th January 2025, Parliament approved the 4th National Development Plan, NDP4, for the years 2025, 2026, 2029, 2030. This plan is our national blueprint for transformation and sustainable development of our country. The budget speech that we shall receive on 12th June 2025 is aligned to this National Development Plan. I take the cognizance of the contribution of all stakeholders in the formulation and realization of this plan. Your Excellency, after my communication, and if it does please you, Your Excellency, I will request that before you commence on your address to Parliament and by extension to the nation, you symbolically unveil the NDP4, a document that will be a precursor to the budget speech, which will be held on 12/June 2025. I will now take this singular honor and privilege to invite you to unveil the National Development Plan 4. Your Excellency, you'll be joined by my good self and the Deputy Speaker, the Ministers of Finance, to perform this activity. The House is adjourned to Thursday, 12th, 2025 at 2 p.m.